All right. Dr. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. Really appreciate you jumping on here with me.
Yes,
I just want to quickly, we'll basically just dive right in. Can you go ahead and just introduce yourself, share a little bit about your background, some of the stuff you're doing over there in South Carolina with your practice for the audience?
sure. So I'm Dr. Chris Hollett, and I started in practice in 2022. And I started off just as a chiropractic clinic and struggled for quite some time. Just, literally the classic story of on the 30th day of the month, I had a patient come in and pay me cash in order to pay my bills. And I was like, this is not a sustainable way to practice. And I opened my doors with, zero marketing, just literally like going out and just hoping to God that I would be able to get things going, hoping that my goodwill would get me where I need to be. And over time, tried different marketing companies and, had a little bit of success here, a little bit of success there. And over time, I kept hearing about this company called Think Bullish. And I was like, okay, like, interesting name. I'm not so sure about what's going on with that. But the success stories almost like sounded too good to be true. And what captured me about you guys is you guys are doing some innovative stuff, and you guys are certainly utilizing AI at the sort of front end of things. And you guys continue to seem to be like a company that was on the cutting edge, like the front lines of what's next. And a lot of companies typically try to like piggyback on what's working successfully. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but with the marketplace changing so fast, to be with a company that's sort of forward thinking and actually proactive on like what's next and constantly looking to see like how can we improve rather than waiting for the market to shift and reacting to it. That to me was really appealing. And so I was done with sort of the, flash dance, the quick splash results that a lot of companies kind of promised. And then after like 3 or 6 months, you saw things dry up. I was really looking for like a business partner to grow the business with, and really kind of like hand my marketing off to, so like I could just work with the company and set it and forget it, and not have to be like constantly like monitoring things and wondering like, okay, is this going to fall out from under me? But have almost like a team or somebody that I almost like it's I might have my own marketing department, my own advertising team that I can consult with. And so when I had the very first conversation with you guys, I was just super impressed with how like down to earth and real you were about like what you provided, the things things that you do, and the results that you're given. Like some of the coaches that I had as a doctor and as a like practice management company, like we're utilizing you guys, and they were getting phenomenal results. And they had used other companies, but the sort of the chatter that I was hearing from just my social network and the individuals I worked with were like, this company is the real deal. You should really try them, because it sounds like you've had some successes with people in the past, but it's kind of the typical like quick fire turn and churn type of thing. And this company, isn't really about that. So I've been with you guys now for, gosh, I want to say it's only been like 6 or 7 months, and my business has just completely skyrocketed. And on my end, I continue to get better as a doctor and provide more services as a office, but you guys have really helped support that entire like growth process. So I'm thankful to you guys, and appreciative to be here, having this conversation with you, Zach.
100%. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um, can you bring us back in? I know you touched on it there quite a bit. Um, so for clarity, really, so when you started with us, you were kind of hopping around. It sounds like marketing company to marketing company, trying to find, maybe you're getting some results here and there, but it wasn't consistent. It wasn't really matching up to what you described as like that partner that could really get things to the next level. Is that correct? If I'm
hmm
I'm saying that?
Right. Yeah, yeah. And some of the companies, like they even just like some of the companies actually got some good results, but they just seemed like they were sleazy and unethical. And I almost felt like as a doctor, especially like I was like, am I going to get like my license taken away because
Mm.
I'm doing some sort of like unethical marketing practice, even though like the numbers might look good. I was almost like, am I going to get that knock at like 3 a.m. on my door? Like
Yeah.
somebody coming in, or like even worse, patients are in there and you have somebody from like the state board, like, hey, like, we've been monitoring your activity. And so I didn't get any sense of that from talking with you guys. And again, the coaches and doctors and social networks I've worked with had nothing but like the highest regard for what you guys did. And that's why I ended up booking my first call with you guys. And from like literally the first moment, I'm like, you guys just do things differently. It wasn't all about like the hype and the sales. It was actually about like what you guys can do to help, my business where I'm at and support the growth. And again, since then, you guys have just continued to be innovative and supporting my practice. And you know, just the practice has seen remarkable growth, and I feel like we're just starting to hit the ground running. Like I really feel like the partnership that we're forming together, and the conversations I have with your staff and communications on and off throughout the week, even about different things, is like I said, like you guys are really a part of my business and a part of my team. So it's been an incredible process so far.
Mm, mm. Talk about the once you did get started as well, like onboarding, getting things moving to where we are now. Like, how was that experience for you?
That was actually, I almost forgot it. I mean, now that you mention it, I don't even really remember the onboarding process because it was so simple. Like I've been with companies and they have like, it sounds like amazing. And they do have like great, like, videos and all this onboarding process. But by the time you're done with it, you've gone through like a, 100-hour course about just how to use their platforms and things that are not necessarily relevant to helping to support your business. It's more about how they function operationally. And it wasn't necessarily the most effective use of my time as a business owner, as a doctor. So honestly, thinking back to it, the onboarding process, I almost didn't even realize there was one. Like it was like you guys just picked up the pieces and boom, like the business was off growing.
Mm, mm. Cool. Okay. And can you talk a little bit about your experience now, like what that kind of looks like on the day to day as far as communications with us? I know, I know we were just talking before about like some of the AI videos, and I know
Mm.
we have you shooting content all day long, every day. So I know you're staying really busy there, calling all the leads, constantly. Can you talk a little bit about that process and your experience to get the results?
Yeah, that's actually been one of the things that I've been most impressed with is that the AI you guys utilize actually gets better results than any person and a company, any other, like call center or agency I've used before. And I've spent some good money on, popular ones out there that most people have probably heard. And they just don't get as good of results as AI. And I also don't have to worry about like, those 2 a.m. phone calls or like I run TV ads and I do radio and I don't have to have like a call center do this and a different call script for that. Like AI can just adapt on the fly on nights and weekends. Like AI is there to answer it. So like during business hours, AI can kick it to my office. But if we want a real person to help answer, troubleshoot certain things, but I've been super impressed with just the ability that AI has to support the business because that's a whole nother aspect that I don't have to worry about. Like literally leads just show up on my calendar. And it's so awesome to be able to look at like, okay, what's tomorrow's schedule look like? And all my staff has done is basically give like reminder phone calls just because I want that sort of personal touch. AI does also reminders, but I also have my staff on top of that just to help increase day one conversion, improve that even more. So that's been really, really helpful. And if there's ever a question about a lead or like we'll follow the messages that come in, sometimes patients will have or new leads will have a question and my staff might hop on and send a response. And the cool thing is AI picks it right up too. Is like, okay, that was answered. And if the patient asks back another question and we're not there to answer it, AI picks up. So it's just like that piece of it's really neat. And then if there ever are any scheduling things, like sometimes our hours are a little different just because of sort of where we're at locally. Uh, we're really good about that. We can just shoot an email to your support team and get a response. And the great thing about that is the response is an actual answer. Like some companies will like write back quickly, but it's basically like, here's a laundry list of things to do to get the answer versus you guys actually get the result. Like, okay, rather than giving you the 10 steps, it took us just as long to actually give you the answer versus us telling you the 10 steps you needed to do it. So like it's like here it is for you, done, and here's the answer. Not like click here, click there, go. It's like here it is, or here's a video on like how to quickly do it and find it. So a lot of it is very seamless, and it's results oriented. It's not just like, sometimes you could call a call center or you could go to a help desk and you're like, gosh, I could have found it out faster than by the time I got the answer. So like it's that and like probably 101 other things that I can't think of right now that your team and the support, it's just allows me to focus on the business and makes the business flow so much easier because like you really are like an extension of our business, even though you're not there. In today's day and age, like I've got, virtual assistants that help us, create other things like applications and different, graphics for the office. It's great because so much stuff is virtual nowadays. But you guys engage with us regularly enough and respond quickly that it's like you guys are literally in the next room over.
Mm, that's so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and can I go ahead? Can you talk a little bit about? I'm gonna share my screen here. Um, are you able to speak a little bit to the results you've seen? I know you're touching on how you've been impressed and seeing growth. Um, can you talk a little bit about what that's looked like for you?
Yeah, so the advertising that we've been doing, like it's just, before it was, again, I was just putting as much money into advertising as I could, but literally at the end of the month, just trying to like say, okay, like I paid my advertising expenses, I can keep a little bit of money to like pay my bills. And working with like Lewis and the rest of your team, like really like looking at the numbers specifically as far as how to leverage different aspects of the advertising campaign. And it seems like now, like, before it was like, okay, every dollar I put in, can I get like at least a dollar and a little bit of change back? Now it's like, okay, like every dollar I put in, like I'm getting $2 back and then $3 back. And every month it just gets more and more refined to the point now where like, you're starting to spend, tens of thousands of dollars on advertising and getting, multiples of return. And, it'll be interesting to see like where the ceiling is on that because every month it's just like we open up new possibilities. And it's not just the social media aspect of it. It's just like, hey, how can we engage with patients um, through different types of content? And it's not just about like, hey, here's an ad, but it is here's video content or here's other aspects of like how we can possibly get patients to engage with what you're doing to drive traffic to the business or to our front door.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see we've been scaling up the ad spend since we started, but it's pretty
Yeah,
cool because yeah, you're
yeah.
doing like last month we spent just over 15 in ad
Hmm.
spend.
Hmm.
Um, the cases, I know it's not all exactly because based on when the CRM's updated, but somewhere
Hmm.
in the ballpark of 61 we've started at like 1,200 and some change per close.
Hmm. Hmm.
And most of it's on that one niche. And now
Yeah.
we've played with adding others, a couple other campaigns, but yeah, it seems like there's still quite a bit of room to continue to grow, especially in this one market, with this niche and then others.
And
Um,
that's actually been one of the
so
hardest things for me is that you guys have been so successful with the advertising that I want to do other niches, but I'm like my
yeah,
profitability and time is so zapped with the increase in what I'm doing that it's I need to hire more people faster than I can get around to doing because it's hard to keep up
good
with the
problem to
growth.
have. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a good problem
it's
to
a good
have.
it's, exactly.
Yeah, you've definitely been doing your part too, because I mean, you've been rocking on the closes, um, and feeding the machine. But yeah, yeah, the numbers, it looks really good.
Well, I think that's something that a distinction that you guys have as well is you guys do provide more of a nurturing process to bring patients in the door. So it's not just like a hey, here's an ad, click, sign up, see you at the appointment, but it's through the content that you guys provide patients, sort of informing them about the appointment, guiding them through what to expect, and really nurturing that lead before they come in. That creates a higher value lead than just somebody who clicked on an ad and said, "Hey, I want to book an appointment." Those are great
Yeah,
leads too, and we can hopefully support those people. But when they come in and they have other aspects that they've seen or heard about the clinic and what we provide, it definitely brings in a lead that's more excited to participate in whatever it is, they're there for.
I didn't even realize I'm looking at this sheet. Does this sound right? So we have, since we started, 60.4% conversion of those that have showed. Um,
Um,
does that sound accurate?
that's if
Might
my
be,
staff has actually updated all this
yeah, it might not be
stats
fully
correctly.
there. Yeah, so
So I can
either
tell you,
way.
like, that's one of the things that I'm constantly my staff about is they I think the conversion might even be higher than that because
Oh,
we
really?
just sometimes we're just so busy. It's just like, did you check the person in? Did you actually say that we signed up? Did you actually put the dollar value in? We do it on our end for the business, but for you guys, I was like, because it's important for you guys to understand like which metrics to advertise to, because that drives, and hones in even more. So I'm trying to get my staff to be like 100% on top of that versus like having some fall through the cracks. So those numbers are accurate, but they're probably a little lower than reality.
Makes sense. We just need some AI in there next. It's we
I'm on
coming.
board.
Yeah. What would you say for people on the fence who are, kind of maybe in a similar position to you, or looking to grow their practice, maybe have tried other solutions? What would you say to those
hmm
folks who are on the fence about jumping on board with us?
Two things, really kind of this looking back now, especially, it's an all-in-one package. Like you don't have to worry about doing the scheduling. AI literally does a better job than any person. And I've trained people personally. I've worked with virtual assistants. I've, like I said, call centers. So you guys take care of that option entirely. But they also have the chat bots, so those messages. All of that's taken care of. So like you literally don't have to worry about taking care of that. You don't have to worry about that for your payroll. So that's money saving, time saving expense. And then people always say you kind of need money to make money, and it's hard when you're starting out because every dollar literally counts. And the return on just since I've been with you guys, like literally every month I've been more and more profitable. So it's one of those things like you have to just trust the process from the standpoint of like you guys get results. And if it's only, $2,000 you can advertise with, great. The next month it might be 3,000, and then the month after that it might be 4,000. And then pretty soon, you can work your way up to if it's tens of thousands or if it's different niches. So it's one of those things. It, you have to start.
Yeah.
You have to start. And if they've tried other companies or they've tried other agencies, then they've had to invest money. And again, having everything that's just turnkey from the standpoint of booked appointments, it's awesome. I can literally look at the next day's calendar and be like, it's all done. It's literally there. I don't have to worry about anything because AI set it all up. And on the back end, I know that the marketing campaigns and the funnels are just creating more and more and more leads to the point where my staff sometimes has trouble keeping up with like, hey, we signed a new patient up. We signed a new patient up. Did we put all the information in high level to make sure that the marketing company knows that what they're doing is working even better than it did the previous week? So for me, it's just like I haven't even looked back since I just haven't really had time, nor have I wanted to, because the bank account just keeps getting bigger and bigger, which allows the office to support more and more people, which is our mission.
100%. That's awesome. Maybe we need to look at how we can intertwine more for onboarding then. The patients, making it
Yeah,
simple. That's
yeah,
cool. What's
so yeah.
what's your what do you say, like, where do you see the future of what we're doing going for you, and just kind of some of your goals and visions, and what you're working on?
So yeah, I've considered doing a multi-office type of approach. I mean, I've got to the point now where it's like, okay, like my business can continue to grow, and I certainly have not maxed out where I'm at. But the fact that I can even have a conversation about, hey, what is like maybe like a multi-practice option look like? It was maybe like in my dream bucket at some point in time, but within literally now like 6 or 7 months, it's becoming like a reality as far as like my vision goes. And like my mission is to literally help change the community that I live in because people are just in desperate need of like good health and improving their quality of life. And like being able to support that mission with you guys has been amazing. And that's something I just can't emphasize enough. Like you guys really truly are a business partner in what I do. It's not just some like company that I work with that I'm like, I don't even think about spending money. Like it doesn't occur to me. It's like, how can I continue to work with you guys because you guys add so much value to my business. It's almost like I want to spend more and more and more money with you and look at different options, whether it be going more virtual, whether it be going, more brick and mortar, whether it be like doing mailers or more videos, or the fact that you guys are constantly on the forefront of those, aspects of business and are integrating that stuff is awesome for me as a business owner because different times of the year have different approaches that work. That what working now might not work in 6 months or next year, and so having sort of some of those buckets filled all the time to constantly be testing it and having a company that's already doing that without me having to spend the direct dollars, and you guys have that information and data to share with me is like it's priceless because you guys have kind of already troubleshot ahead before I've spent my hard-earned dollars, while I'm still in the very infant stages of my own business growth.
Yeah, 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 100%. You're rocking them. What would you say? Is there anything else you would add for the viewers, the listeners here?
if if there's any hesitation, it's one of those things like if you hesitate on doing this, then what else are you hesitating on in life that's holding you
Mm,
back? It's been the
yeah.
single best thing that I did. It's like, the person like, oh, when's the best day to go, to start being healthy? Yesterday. Same thing with you guys. Like I wish I'd known about you guys from the beginning because I would have had so many more like sleepful nights. I would have been making a lot more money. And it's not just about money, but I would have been having such a bigger impact on not just my community, but also my team. Like I would have been able to support more people and support their visions and their lives even more. So, like overall as a business, overall as an individual, it's been a phenomenal experience and it's allowed me to live a more fulfilling life.
Mm, mm. That's so awesome. I think that's one thing people probably don't even talk about enough. But as a business owner, the sleepless nights, the not knowing, the frustration, and how it feeds into the
Hmm.
morning, and the doubt, and all of that. It's like it's one of the toughest things growing and building a company.
Yeah,
Hey, Dr.
yeah.
Chris, I really appreciate you jumping on here and being willing to share so much. I know we are incredibly stoked with the results we've been able to help provide, and that we can't
Likewise.
take all the responsibility for because you've rocked on your part. And we are super, super stoked as well to continue to grow with you.